Okay guys, today I'm gonna be doing some skincare while I talk to you about my piercing journey. Just a reminder, my comments are gonna be closed. Also, I never do my skincare. This piercing situation, look, I know I made mistakes, so I don't need you to tell me that. This is not a tutorial on what to do when you have piercings done. This is more a warning. Also, I'm sorry I'm talking quietly. I have a family member in the meeting and I don't want to bother them. Got my hand sanitizer. I don't like hand sanitizer because it dries my hands out. But I'm going to be lotioning everything anyway. So I just want to be touching my face with clean hands. I'm going to be putting my hair up. I made this headband back when I was trying to learn how to crochet. Also, my hair is oily, but it's literally, I washed it last night. I guess I'll start with Watermelon Dew All Over Serum. I've never used this. So let's go back to baby me when I first wanted to get my ear piercings done. I didn't have my lobes pierced as a baby. I was told that I could make that choice for myself whenever I wanted to have them done. And I wore clip-on earrings for a while. Here's some video of me at a school dance in like 2nd grade with my little clip-on ones. They would always break, so I had them taped. I just had those jellyfish ones because those are my favorite animal. Then, in 6th grade, I have a very strong memory. I went to help out at my church's yard sale, and my friend had gotten her ears pierced, and she was looking at earrings, and I was like, I want to do that. Because I was in my I want to grow up era. So, beginning 7th grade, I got my ears done. Now, when I asked to get my ears done, I had been like obsessively researching everything, and so I knew that I should get them done with a piercing needle. The problem with that was that in order to do that, you had to go to a tattoo parlor, and my dad did not want me to go there. This is aromatherapy oil, and it's supposed to be good for eczema. I got it for free. Some lady gave it to me. So go support her. I'm just putting a little bit. I don't really know if I'm supposed to put it on my face. So my mom, when she had her ear piercings done, when she was in high school, she had them done at the like piercing pagoda at the mall back when they still used a thing called a stapler. And then when she had them re-pierced, she went to Claire's and they had the piercing gun. And that was like the newest thing for piercings at the time. And that worked really well for her. So she was like, it's okay, we'll go to Claire's. Meanwhile, I was obsessively watching videos about like warning against Claire's, but I managed to convince myself it was going to be okay because it had worked for her. I've never used this either. It's a sample. Glow Recipe Plum Plump Hydronic Cream. I'm a little scared what this is going to do to my face, but I'm going to put it on anyway because I don't have that much skincare products and this video needs to be a bit longer. Yo, what the heck? It's like empty. It's giving scam, even though I paid no money for this. Why is it empty? It's got a weird texture. Feels like Jello, kinda. I can't tell if it's expired or not. So I convinced myself that it was going to be okay at Claire's. I went, I had them done, my friend held my hand, and my parents were there, you know, I love Claire's. Still do. So some time goes by, okay? And one thing that's somewhat important to the story is they gave us for free. So first of all, we could not be affording to spend a lot of money on this. So we got the cheapest ear piercing you could get there, which was like stainless steel, whatever. And they said that they were all hyperallergenic or whatever. So we just didn't think about that. We're like, okay, it's just like a plain bead, whatever. You can change it eventually. And for free, after the piercings, they gave you like this solution that's supposed to heal the earrings in 3 weeks. Which, my mom knew better than that, but I believed them for some reason. Because I was freshly in 7th grade.
Just a few minutes, like half an hour, I'm probably going to have my ears pierced. We're going to Claire's in the mall, and I'm not going to record there because that is weird. Enjoy the last time my ears will ever be like this without a hole in them. I got them done. We got the cheapest ones because they were really expensive. So we ended up with like the fast solution. So you're gonna get the regular because it's more cheaper. We got the fast one, so I only have to wait 3 weeks and then get to wear the jellyfish earrings.
The earrings got kind of stuck at the back. My mom had to kind of help get the earring backs on, so they were kind of like jiggling around, which probably wasn't good for them. I'm sure that caused a lot of the problems that occurred later.
So after 4 weeks, we wait 4 weeks as a compromise. I was following the instructions they gave me, cleaning them 2 times or 3 times a day, and then rotating them as well. I remember I had seen mixed opinions on if you should rotate them or not, and I kind of would do like half and half. So I switched these earrings after 4 weeks, which, if you know, was not enough time. And things start going downhill from here because they get really irritated, they start getting infected, so we buy Bactine. We're using that. Hurting, just everything. I don't really remember a whole lot. I think I blocked it out.
They were supposed to be fully healed in a year, but it had gotten to the point where it just gave me anxiety to think about my earrings and the whole piercing thing, because I was just feeling that they were never going to heal. I was just really anxious about it, and I would cry if we talked about it. And I was just ready to be done. I was at this point kind of regretting getting them pierced at all. So I was like, this is way too much of a problem.
And eventually, it gets to be May. I go in for my yearly checkup at my pediatrician. We ask him about it, and he's like, just take them out, and we will re-pierce them here. And we're like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize you still did ear piercings here. This is great. This is an eyebrow pencil. I'm just using... So, at the end, I take them out before summer starts, and then right before I go into 8th grade, I go to my doctor's to get them re-pierced. Now, I don't know what the normal amount of time it takes for your piercings to close up. This was like 3 months, so it should have been long enough, I would think. But my doctor also pierced with a piercing gun. They did a really good job to make sure they're even, at least like when you look at them. However, these hurt really bad. And I have a low pain tolerance, but when I was at Claire's, it's not too bad, and then they start kind of burning afterwards, but it was bearable. I've had this for a really long time. I went to get them pierced at my doctor, and I guess it was because they were being over scar tissue, because this hurt so badly. They did them one at a time, and I started crying. I was going into 8th grade. I was crying on like the little bench, and I remember at the end I was just like in tears going, I never have to do that again. It hurt so badly. I do not even remember what it felt like. It just hurt so bad. And that's when I was deciding, like, okay, I'm just not going to be able to get any other piercings because I just can't bear the pain. So then I decide I'm not going to touch them for like 6 months. So I don't. I leave them in for like 6 months. I think I eventually changed them at some point. And then I'm pretty sure I changed them into titanium studs. It's not focusing. They look like this. They have the little butterfly back. And then I would just wear those, and then every few months I was still kind of cleaning them somewhat consistently. I stopped using Bactine. I was using rubbing alcohol to clean them. Eventually, I switched over to just like regular saline wound wash, like the spray stuff. I had these kind of like opal titanium, and I had some big Claire's titanium ones that I didn't like as much because they were bigger. Oh yeah, and when I was healing them for the first time, I did have hoops for a while. And like, we stopped using those. I think those were gold. I had silver ones. Everything. The hoops was supposed to help the back heal, and it didn't really work. They did turn green.
I'm pretty sure that the first piercing hole never healed up on this side fully, because when I put it in the front, sometimes I would put it in and I would have to push it through the back again. Like there was like a thin layer of skin there, which didn't make sense because I wasn't leaving it out for any length, except for like the 5 seconds it took for me to clean my earrings. And then I also noticed that I could put it in like at one angle and it would hurt, and I could take it out and put it back in at another angle, and then it wouldn't hurt.
And so, yeah, the timeline's a little fuzzy for me because I just tried everything. But I did all of that, and at this point, I'm a junior in high school, and they don't heal. Like, they would have periods where they get better, but then they would get sore again. They would scab up in the back, just always crusty. Like, I developed in, like, I think freshman year, like, a bump on the back of this one, and it, like, took forever to go away, even though we were cleaning it all the time. Every time I would switch my earrings, I would clean them in rubbing alcohol and spray the stuff on my ears, and it just didn't matter. They would not heal. So finally we get to this year, and I'm just fed up. I do more research. I actually make a Reddit post. I made a Reddit account. I never use Reddit. I just stalk other people's posts, and I was so desperate. I made an account just to make a post about what to do, because I wanted to emphasize I had tried everything that I could possibly think of. I use this every day. I'm allergic to this lip balm that I got, but I stole the little applicator because I liked it. So then on the post, people were suggesting titanium flatback earrings or to get them re-pierced with a needle. And at this point, I'm like, I'm not getting them re-pierced because it's, one, expensive, and two, it hurts so bad, I'm not going to be able to do it. This is my eczema medicine. One of three. I decide I'm going to get flatback earrings, and I'm kind of just like thinking about this whatever. And I go into Claire's while I'm at the mall with my mom after like having recently been like looking into this, and they have on sale like a ton of flatback earrings, and some lady in the store actually overheard me talk about it and like found them for me, and they have them all in this little bin. I'll show you, because they ended up like, I bought like a ton, but then none of them matched because there was like no double sets of everything. So I ended up, they look like this. I have some that were like screw-inable, but these ones were like just you slide them in. I ended up, because I realized all of them were like different post lengths, different thicknesses. I ended up using like these two mismatched ones. One has 3 stones, one has only 1. I spent forever trying to get them in. My ears were like burning. I ended up putting them in backwards because I couldn't see what I was doing from the back. And I had my sister help me, and she couldn't help. So I had like just like the silver discs in the front here. Here we have Aveeno Eczema Therapy. I don't really know what the difference between these two are. My dermatologist says I need thicker lotion, so I really hate this stuff. It smells weird and it has a weird texture. So finally, I get them in and I wear them for a while, and I post about having these. And my cousin, who I never see, who's a lot older than me, she messaged me and just like, yo, these aren't gonna work. Claire's titanium is horrible. You need to buy this other stuff. You need to buy this other cleaning solution. And like, this is at like 1 a.m. already. And I'm just like, I just spent so much money on these. You know, what's the difference between like the titanium? It's gonna be fine. It's all titanium. I should have known better. And may I mention, I've never had a reaction to any other jewelry. I wear cheap jewelry all the time, just not in my ears. So I'm wearing this stuff, and my ears aren't feeling any worse, but they're just not feeling better. Oh yeah, and my mom got me new saline stuff that's for piercing and tattoo. She said the review says it's like magic. It didn't do anything. So I'm like using this stuff, and I'm like, you know what? Nothing's changing. Why am I still wasting my time? Like, let me look into getting the right kind of flatbacks. Because at this point, you know, I've tried everything, and so like, this is the last chance I got. So I look up a bunch of stuff because my ears was irritating me really bad in class, and I finally was just like, okay, fine, I'm gonna buy implant-grade titanium, whatever. I look at a bunch of suggestions, and in order to buy like 2 of them, it was gonna be like at the bare minimum like $60. That was the cheapest ones I could find. And so I spend like 3 class blocks looking for earrings, and at the very end of my last block of the day, I find earrings from like the parent website of a brand I was trying to buy. I was trying to buy Neo Metal, I think, originally, and then I was looking at a bunch of different other suggestions that might be cheaper, and none of them were. And so finally, the website Body Art Forms, their like own brand, was selling the earrings I wanted, and they had good reviews. Someone said that they healed their clears ear piercings. That's the only one that did. So they came in a few days ago. So I'm not really sure if they work or not, but they went in way easier. I learned from my mistakes when I was putting in the Claire's flatbacks, and when I put them in, I took the backs, which was literally like what should have been the fronts of them, but they were in the back, so I couldn't get them on. And I screwed them off, and then like basically like, you know how like when people like size up gauges, they like thread them through. That's like what I did, and so I used it to just like push them like that, and then popped the fronts on. This one is really tight. I bent it a little bit too much, and I just had to commit. So I'm gonna struggle to get this side off, but my plan is keep cleaning them and wear them for 3 months, which will get me, and I won't take them out all the way up into my ring dance, which is at the end of April. So hopefully by then they will be much less irritated, and so if I have to yank a little bit to get this side off, it'll be fine. I don't really know if you can see it. This side has been the one like bleeding and super irritated, so I've been putting more sprays on it. Apparently you can spray too much. No, that went right in my ear, which I find stupid. Oh, and when my piercings were brand new, I was using Q-tips to clean around it, but I felt like it just wasn't reaching everything. So I've just been using the spray. It's been a journey, y'all, and the journey's not over, because if this doesn't work, then I don't know what will, other than re-piercing them, because I think the nerves or whatever are damaged from the piercing gun, and there's not anything I can do about that. And it wasn't even my fault. I wanted them done with a needle, but I was a 13-year-old. Actually 12. I'm gonna go with Laneige. In an ideal world, I think piercings are gorgeous. And back in freshman year, me and my friend decided that we would get our seconds together, because even though I probably can't bear the pain of anything up here, I would really love my seconds. And so our plan is to go, once we graduate, we'll be 18, we'll go together, we'll go to, you know, our little vacation house, and we will go to a place that does piercing needles, and we will get our seconds together, because she got her ears pierced in 5th grade and was like super excited. I was like, I'm gonna go back and get my seconds next week, and obviously she did not. If I could get whatever piercings, I'd probably do a bunch all over my ears, like curated whatever. I would do like little eyebrow ones maybe. That is the earring situation I have been in. Wish me luck on my earring journey.